Let me see if I can stab this thing in just for kicks as we kick off this in-field real-time review of a Bradford Guardian 4.5. Oh, not even rehearsed. Oh, that's cool. This is a cool blade too. Daddy like. So this is a higher end, medium-sized, maybe smaller-sized outdoors knife. That's the way I look at it when we talk about philosophy of use here in the knife clinic, as I dick around and for no apparent reason just keep stabbing it into a log. That's because it's fun. We've reviewed here in TMP Bradford Guardians before, positively I might add. I forget exactly which size I reviewed once upon a year, but it was a very positive review. These are very well made knives. They use awesome steels. This one is in CPM 3V. Relatively thick stock. Check that out. That means it's going to be a strong knife for its size and weight. Stone washed finish. Classic drop point. Excellent edge out of box. Jimped on top. Really comfortable handle. This one is in blue micarta. Now, if you go to Blade HQ, they have all types of different sizes of the Guardian. This is technically a 4.5. It's a little bit smaller. This is a 4-inch blade on it. They're calling it a 4.5. And they have smaller ones, bigger ones. You can really just pick whichever flavor you want. It is a US produced knife. It is using premium materials, premium workmanship. That means it's going to cost a bit more. It's going to be over 200 bucks for sure. Go to BHQ's website. I'll throw some links down below and you can check them out. Let's look at the handle real quick. And I have large sized hands and it's just big enough for me. That's what she said, Nutnfancy. Thank you, sir. I like that guy. Funny. That was a perfect "that's what she said" reference. Yeah, so it's just long enough. It's another one. I don't mean to be doing that. It's just right there. Try to do "that's what she said" out of that one. Oh crap, they did it anyhow. Okay, so there's the thickness of it. Oh dang, they're still doing it. Pretty comfortable. There's a taper right here towards the end. Flares out a little bit. Really a stylish look to it. Nice fit and finish with a slightly proud tang coming out of the liners. And I actually like that. I don't mind it. As long as it doesn't stick out like 1/8 of an inch or something. You can see the fit on it's pretty tight. And then they have some proprietary dual pin fasteners here. But you can find drivers for that if you ever need to take your scales off. It's pretty easy. Nice deep choil right here. Locks in pretty good. My only slight criticism is anytime I have an outdoors blade and it sweeps down like this, I'm not super enthused on it. Less with this because this isn't a chopper. I usually will criticize it if it's a chopper and I'm chopping, because what it will do, not this knife, I'm talking like a big survival knife. What it will do is create battering against your pinky. Let me come over here so you can see my ugly face. Yeah, so this one doesn't have that issue. I mean, it has it, but that's not the use for this knife. Like I said, camp knife, maybe EDC fixed blade. I think it might be a little bit big for that role, at least just for me. I'd go with something smaller, something lighter. And let's look at the sheath, which is right here. It is a pouch sheath on this Guardian 4.5. And it's decent. I'm not going to rave about it. The sheath is okay. You know, there you go. What sheath would you like to have, Nutnfancy? I like plastic sheaths for camp knives. I mean, like here's one right here. So this is a Secure-X from a cold steel knife. Like this. I love these. These are awesome. Lightweight. They snap in. They're form-fitted. They're affordable. They dry quickly. They're waterproof. This is more of a traditional sheath. It is riveted. It's stitched well. It uses some premium cowhide. It's not a bad sheath. I'm just not like, at this price point above $200, I want a better sheath. I'll just say that. I do. I'd like to have something better. So this has a really strong tip on it. We showed you the thickness of it. And the advantage is, of course, strength. So if you have to do a prying task with this relatively small knife, you can do it. So I'm gonna kind of bang it in here with a baton, and we're gonna test it a little bit. Nothing, you know, abusive. I don't want to intentionally, so that wasn't too much. I don't want to intentionally abuse this knife. I just kind of want to rock it back and forth, see what's up. And I want to say we did this with the other Guardian. Didn't we do this? I thought I pounded into the logs, and I think it was like 2012 or something. See, that's really in there. So if I wrench this, I can really tweak this blade. CPM 3V, premium powder metallurgy steel. I like it, holds an edge very well. It's a great choice for the out of doors. It's expensive though, definitely. Let's get to cutting. Let's see, we're gonna baton this, just light batoning, nothing crazy, nothing untowards. Can you see that? I think you can. So Macie is over there asleep, in case you're wondering. She's still with me, and my intention is to always bring her with me. She is Mountain Dog Mark II. Wow, that does well. Not that what I'm doing is that technical. I mean, any knife could do what I'm doing here pretty much. But what I'm telling is that, or detecting I should say, is that it's splitting readily because of the wedge shape of the blade. And it's low drag. The CPM 3V is just a low drag steel. And I didn't even put any WD on it. You don't need it for this. You know, a 4-inch blade, 4.5 inch, whichever one you get. That is, that's a short blade. There's not a lot of big logs you're going to be batoning with that. Oh man, that is sharp. That's a really good edge on that. Really nice edge. Dudes. God, that's a great edge. I gotta remind myself without gloves what it feels like. That's what she said. Fantastic edge on this. Really, really good. Gosh, it's a looker too. Isn't that a good looking knife in the blue? So I chose the blue for this review. Just, well, I don't know. I guess we like blue in TMP, right? It is TMP, and it is a blue logo I've always used. So let's talk about value. Is it worth it? I would say yeah. I mean, I don't think $240 for a knife of this quality is insane. I think what has happened in the knife market, and frankly in the watch market too, is that we get so much for our money. Then when we see a US produced product, this is not made in China. When we see a US produced product, we go, holy cow, that's expensive. Just because we've been accustomed to less expensive knives. I've always said that about US blades. I was like, dude, they're just going to be more. They are. I would be more excited about this knife if it was like $150. I ain't going to lie to you. I would. It would be awesome. But it ain't. It's more like, I don't know, $240 or so. Dadgum, that edge is really excellent. And I just tested the Ace SOG, or the SOG Ace knife, the really high value blade. Do I have it here in my bag? I do. This one right here. And it's really an excellent knife. It is. This one. But it's in a different category. This is a value knife, 8CR13 MOV. I did basically the same task that I'm doing now. In other words, just kind of goofing around and doing some shavings off a limb. And I'll tell you, the edge on this dominates that Ace. It should. I mean, it's like multiple times its price. A much more premium steel, powder metallurgy steel. Of course it should. Dadgum, that is a great edge on that. Oh my gosh, that is so excellent. And I haven't touched it up or done anything to it. And it should be good. For the price, it should be good. Freaking got me a vampire steak right there. Look at that, dudes. So I always wear gloves when I'm doing knife work. These are the mechanics utility gloves. Highly recommended. If I can find a link for them, I'll put it below. If not, you're on your own. But dadgum are these great gloves. They have the fit of a regular mechanics glove, but they're leather and they're very tough. They're not like the fabricator gloves, which I also love. The fabricators are fantastic. I use them in the desert a lot when I'm hauling and setting up steel to shoot. But dang, these are good. Very protective too. And then I can do like a choked up hold like I'm doing now with these leather gloves. You know, if I didn't have gloves, I probably wouldn't be holding like that, where I have the edge right against my finger. I wouldn't do it. But with gloves, it doesn't matter. I'm good. I can hold wherever I want. And I actually do love choking up on my blades. I love double choil blades. I think a lot of us are that way. We just like to have that control when we're cutting. Yeah, this is a freaking awesome blade. I do have a criticism though. Other than the sheath is a criticism. I would kind of like to have a thinner stock, not thicker, but thinner stock version of the Guardian, because it would make it lighter weight. Because this is not an ultimately lightweight knife. It's not that heavy, but that SOG Ace is a lot lighter. And for general food preparation tasks where I don't need like a Rockin' Edge or a CPM steel, it'll do just great. And I said that in that review. That's about it. I mean, the rest is good. Okay, let's do that stupid nail test that I do. I don't even know why I do that. It's so dumb. What are you doing, Nutton? We're just hammering a nail and then we dig it out. How stupid is that? Pretty dumb, right? Yeah, it's pretty dumb. But we can tell some things about the knife by digging this nail out, right? And of course, we wouldn't have to use a nail. We could just dig a hole if we wanted to. The thing you can tell is 1, the edge, 2, the tip strength, 3, the torsional rigidity of the blade, whether it can act like basically a pry bar. Now, I did it earlier. I hammered it into the log and I rocked it back and forth. Talked about that. But this is a little different task. So this is kind of detail work. And I'm just going to leave the background going. I hope you don't mind. I'm not going to show you like a close-up so you can kind of see the mountains in the background. No, we want to see it actually, Nutnfancy. Okay, here it comes. We want to see everything that's going on with that blade. All right, I don't really blame you, actually. I'm the same way. Look at that cut, dudes. It's like a freaking wood chisel. It really is. Look, watch. See that? Look how clean that is. How cleanly it cuts that grain. That is a really good edge and it's a really good steel. It's so fun to have that. Because it's rare I see that with the knives I test. Because I'm at a really low price point. And you just won't get that with a low price knife. I guess the advantage of that thick stock that they use for this Guardian, this Bradford Guardian, is that it is really a stiff blade. You could dig with this knife. I would highly not recommend that with such an expensive blade, but you could if you had to. Could it function in fieldcraft, bushcraft uses? I don't think the bushcrafter guys would really dig this handle. They don't like handles like this. And I'm not a bushcraft expert. I've said that forever. But I know they like a very simple handle. None of this going on. They want a fat cylindrical profile that you can use for hours without inducing hand strain. Yeah, I do kind of know what they like. And you can look at like a knife that carries a bushcraft moniker on it, like the Spyderco, and you can kind of see what they like. They love Scandi ground blades, not so much flat ground blades. I will depart from that. I still love flat ground blades, even for what I'm doing right here. This stupid task that I'm doing, I love flat ground. You can see it's having no issues at all, doing a really clean hole, which could be a task you might need to do with your blade, is not digging a nail out, but just basically forming a clean hole for a dowel or something in a piece of wood. That's a great knife, man. Great knife. That's good enough. Let's do this. And where's that hammer? Right up in here. Might reuse that nail again for some reason. All right, a little more batoning. Back to the mountain view you go. Nutnfancy, you got to do more infield reviews. We love these. Copy that, Red Rooster. I'll do what I can. I'll do what I can. I got to find knives that I'm stoked on though, dudes. I mean, I don't like coming up here and hauling all this damn steel up here, and it's work. And having a knife that I know that's not going to perform. I'm going to get a knife that I'm pretty sure that's going to perform well. I have been surprised several times. But when I saw this 4.5, I was talking to Jake at Blade HQ, and I was like, that is an awesome blade. And I'd forgotten what size I'd reviewed. So I was like, yeah, maybe I'll do an update review on that. Glad I did. This thing's fantastic. You know, so the taper right here on the handle, I do like fuller handles. Like, I would like it if the handle, my Carter right here was just like full. This dimension right here, all the way across. Is that a bushcrafter blade? I don't know if it is technically or not, but I like, well, like this hammer. Look at this hammer. So see that? That's a more comfortable handle profile for me. This one's definitely more stylish though, if that is important to you. I don't care about style, Nutnfancy. I care about function. Yeah, you do care about style. You totally care about style, dude. We all do. We like our things to look cool, right? I'm that way. I admit it. First cool, second cool, right? It's the balance we always talk about. Nice job, Guardian. We're wrapping it up, dudes. Short infield update review on the Guardian 4.5 and CPM 3V. Maybe not so short. Great knife. I think it's worth the money. I would like to see a better sheath, like I said. Battery died as I was wrapping it up on the Guardian 4.5 in blue micarta. Really nice blade. Super sharp out of box. Great steel choice. Batons well. It's a smaller blade, thicker stock, super strong, full tang obviously. Blue micarta layered, gorgeous, we talked about that. Ding on the sheath, a little bit more expensive. That of course is all relative. Like I said, we're just used to those value knives now, so when we see a $200 knife we freak out. I like this steel choice though, CPM 3V. Great knife in the clinic again with Mountain Dog, who for some reason is taking her water bowl off into the brush. What are you doing? What are you doing, Macie? What are you doing, hun? Signing off from the clinic with Mountain Dog Mark II. Gorgeous afternoon. Bradford, good job on this blade. It's decent. Thanks, dudes. Over and out.